Hello, this time I'm going to briefly discuss error handling in Mule ESB. This is a topic that I have not mentioned at all in my previous example, so it's about time. Let's start by just creating a new project here called error handling. What I'm thinking to show this is setting up a file inbound endpoint which will read a file that we are going to transform using a very simple data weave transformation, and at the end I will have another file outbound endpoint, string receivable use case. If we just prepare a directory here which I will place the files in, and I have an input file, an input directory, an outbound output directory, and a test file that I have prepared. So we'll just put the input path there. We'll put the output path here, and in the middle we are going to use a very simple data weave transformation. We have a JSON input. Oh, that's output line, sorry, that will be XML. We have an input payload of application slash, and here we can summon the autocompletion too for guidance. And then we will just create a order object containing our payload. That, and I can show you the test file, so you can just see this very brief example I've used before containing a book. So this shouldn't really invoke any form of magic. We'll do one more thing here and place a file name pattern. We will use the original file name. You can get that from message. And the inbound property. And here DataSense will sense that I have a file inbound, so it will automatically suggest me content that is available for this. So I'll just use the original file name, and I'll add out.txt to it. So this is a very simple flow. We'll just run this one time to show you what it will do and how we can make this fail. So we will just copy our test file to the inbound input directory, and we can see our flow started, and it's exporting the out file. So if we just check the out file real quick here, we can see the XML just like we intended, and everything looks fine. So what we're doing here is transforming JSON to XML. What will happen if we put a XML file in the input directory instead? Let's copy our out file to our in directory, and bam, we have an exception thrown. Since there's an unexpected character at the beginning, since it's an XML, this is something that we should probably react to here, because right now you can't really see, well, you can see the output file for this one. Let's just cat this extra long here, and let's see the ugly error. And this isn't cat out/that. It's just an empty file that was created since we failed with the transformation, and that's not a good use case. So we're invoking some error handling here. Let's place a exception strategy. We'll use the catch exception strategy. We'll place it here in the error handling box. expand that. And this will create a separate flow that will be invoked once we get an exception. So we'll start with that, adding a logger here. We'll just say transformation failed, because that's most likely issue to make us reach that point, that stage. And we can also set the payload to something new inside here. And since we're in the exception strategy, we will have access to a exception object, which contains the cause. Let's just let my machine do some loading here. Something obviously happened to my development environment. Everything else is behaving weird. Just bear with me for a moment. So we use the cause of this, and what else can we add to this? Let's add that cause resulted in, and then a more detailed message. We can just use the exception error that will be displayed, that will be shown. So we're just building our very simple payload of the error, and let's save this to a file just to make sure we get the contents of it. And we'll use the same naming standard as we used earlier. We'll use the inbound properties, and we'll use the original file name that will add that error attributes as well. Very simple. Let's save this up, watch it redeploy itself, and then we'll copy the incorrect file once more. And we can see that we still get the exception in the log, of course. We get our log message transformation failed, which is from inside the exception strategy. If we look at the output directory here, we will also find an error file. If we check the content within this, we can see that we actually get a detailed exception here. So we get, obviously my new lines failed, but that doesn't really matter. We can see that it was a weave execution exception. We can see the characters that caused the exception, and the description here, unexpected character. We can also see the end exception, that what this resulted in. It resulted in a dispatch exception. It couldn't route this event via the endpoint, which resulted in us not getting a real file back, of course. So this is generally how you can start to invoke more complex flows when you get an error. And you should be a bit less prone to causing errors inside this, and keep it simple, but do what you need if you want to create a file, if you want to log it to a database or mail it to someone. That's all I had for this time. Thanks for watching. Bye.